Ruben Amorim has made some changes from those players that went ahead obviously start in that beautiful game of football where Manchester United went ahead obviously take on the side of Manchester City midweek, and so Manchester United walk out as champions from that encounter. And obviously United matters channel it is. We all know it that Marcus Rashford is out, but today we've just gotten ahead obviously get a story indicating that even Ligt is also out of contention to obviously be part of this squad. And smash like button, comment and share. If you're only watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on the stories that we do upload in here on a daily. And you know, each and every time you drop an English player, lots of stories will obviously continue to obviously drop. As far as dropping the English player is really concerned, I've gonna hate to see very many journalists come up at Ruben Amorim asking him about Marcus Rashford, on whether he obviously get back into the squad. And this is what you get when you obviously put out a player like Marcus Rashford onto a rest, because that's what he needs. And I've always gonna hate to say to it that maybe Marcus Rashford needs what we call a wake-up call, and that wake-up call is like dropping him and showing him that you are not the poster boy of Manchester United. For a lot of times, he has been seen as a poster boy for the club of Manchester United because he's coming in from the academy, and him coming in from the academy, he has a lot to obviously resonate with the club. But I don't think that is there anymore. With the coming in through of Menu, I think Garnacho, we have other players that can obviously emulate that the board thinks they're really missing out from him. So that is the manager for you, and he has replies to that. Now, what is the starting 11 for the club of Manchester United in as far as this kind of game is really concerned? We are having Beindir as predicted. Lindelof comes in, Mazraoui, Lisandro Martinez, Bruno Fernandes, Højlund, Eriksen, Yoro, Dalot, Anthony, Ugarte. Now, in the substitutes, we're having Onana, John Evans, Maguire, Malacia, Casemiro, Kobe Mainoo, Ahmad, Garnacho, and Joshua Zirkzee, meaning that the bench is really fat for this encounter to obviously take place at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, where Man United obviously is looking for nothing less than, as you see it there, and they're having Foster in goal. They're having Pedro Porro in there for you, Dragsin, Gray, Spence, Sarr, Bissouma, Maddison, Kulusevski, Solanke, and Son. He has gone strong. On the bench, Austin, Whiteman, Reguilon. Oh, he's back. Darrington, Hardy, Begvale, Olusei, Johnson, Lancashire. Now, for Sergio Reguilon, it is obviously written all over the world that maybe the manager doesn't trust him, because even when Udogie is really having a problem, looks like has gone in for Dejan Spence to play onto the left side of the full-back position for the club of Tottenham Hotspur. So after that, let's obviously get into the system and the format in which these players are obviously gonna be lining up as they take on the club of Tottenham Hotspur and vice versa. Now, Beindir in goal, that is it, and the back three has Leny Yoro onto the right side of the three-man central defense, Lisandro Martinez on the left side of the three-man central defense, Victor Lindelof, another one, comes in through to play in the central defense. For the very first time, this back three is playing their first game all together. You get? Leny Yoro, I think, has never played with Lindelof, and Lindelof has played with Lisandro Martinez. So we are waiting to see whether this back three obviously comes out and obviously cooks the best out of the game. Mazraoui is being played as a right wing back. Dalot is being played as a left wing back. Then Ugarte and Eriksen are being played into the double pivot. I don't know whether it's like that, but you might find Fernandes or Eriksen being played in the double pivot. Anthony, as I told you in the match preview, is leading the line for the club of Manchester United. So that's the starting 11 for the club of Manchester United. And I think it can really take on Spurs better. And when you're having Eriksen, he's a very good mover of the ball, and you know that very well, meaning that you are having a lot in creativity and obviously moving that ball in. Because this side of Spurs is not that kind of team that has a very strong midfield, I tell you. You know, I know they're having Yefis Besuma and Metasa, but I don't think that they're really at that level of obviously not like stopping us. And getting in Eriksen just gets you another bit of control, and I'm not gonna be shocked if I told Manchester United is gonna go into this game of football with very, very, very huge control. You understand? So that's what I will anticipate from this beautiful game of football as Man United takes on Tottenham Hotspur. When you look at the team that played against Man City, they've brought in Ben Deyer for Onana, and Lenny Yoro is in for Ligt. Lindelof is in for Maguire. Eriksen is in for Mason Mount. Anthony is in for Amadi Diallo. And the manager has gone ahead to make 5 changes that he believes will spark off a very huge journey of obviously walking into the semi-finals. And the manager shows you that he needs this game. He needs this game badly, and he wants to obviously get to the semi-finals, because the more games he has, the more time he has to obviously implement his system of 3-4-2-1 in his own players that many people like. They're not used to this system, and they're really dragging on the plans of the manager. You understand? So I think that's what is really going to be happening, you know, into that team. For Rasmus Højlund, I want to see him on the score sheet today, you know, because so far in the Premier League, I think in the Premier League, he has 2 goals, right? Does he have 2 goals? Let me check here. In the Premier League, how many goals does Rasmus Højlund have? 2, I think 2. 1 he scored against Bournemouth. Premier League, he has 2 goals in 11 games. UEFA Europa League, 5. So he so far has 7 in 16 games that he has gone in 17 games that he has gone ahead to play for the club of Manchester United. What does that mean? It means that he's really doing a very good job, I tell you. And all we need to do is, in a game of Tottenham Hotspur like now, more service is expected to be given to him. And when you look at Eriksen here, I see more service coming in through to the player. And I want to see Anthony not being so much selfish in this system when he's obviously getting this guy into play. So those are the 2 players I'm really going to be looking at. Eriksen, you know, and Anthony. That is it. And for Eriksen, one thing I really want to really hail about him is, even when the manager has benched him, because he has only played the game of Ipswich Town. After that game, he never kicked a ball again under Ruben Amorim. You understand? So he hasn't gone ahead, obviously, go to the media to obviously take his complaints there. You know, look at Casemiro. You know, though he really acted stupid in that FA Cup finale when he never started, and he was like, I'm really having a little bit of an injury, you know, but he was disciplined by the club. You understand? So it doesn't mean that every time you're really having problems with the manager, you go ahead and obviously go to the media and really put in what Sancho did. You know, Eriksen is like, I'm waiting for my chance, and I think something that Marcus Rashford would have gone ahead to do, like what the manager told us, that for Marcus Rashford, they would have gone ahead, obviously, go to the manager and ask him, why is it that I'm not part of the squad that is really going to be playing against Man City, you know, not to go to the media. So even Eriksen has waited for his chance, and it has come in through when he's playing his ex-team that he played for when he was coming in from, I think, Ajax. When Luka Modric was sold to Real Madrid, he was being brought in as his successor, and obviously he did the job very well. That is Christian Eriksen for you, and he's one of those players that he's really a joy to watch. We all know his limitations, that his mobility is really a question. You know that very well. He's not that mobile player that will obviously depend on when it comes to obviously run and obviously close down people. But I think the presence of Manuel Ugarte will obviously help us through that situation. When we go to Spurs, a team that beat Southampton 5-0 over the weekend, it is Foster in goal. They are playing a system of 4-2-3-1. Then Pedro Porro right back for the side of Spurs, and I'm gonna hate to see him here hugging his former coach at Sporting Lisbon, because Pedro Porro was being managed by Ruben Amorim at Sporting Lisbon. You understand? So I'm gonna hate to see them really hugging one another. And Spence, left back, Dragsin and Gray are being played in the two-man central defense. Parmeta Sarr and Yefis Besuma are playing into the double pivot. Kulusevski, obviously, playing as a right attacking midfielder, and Song Heung-min playing as a left attacking midfielder. Madison, central attacking midfielder, and Solanke is leading the line. It's not going to be an easy game for everyone who thinks that it's going to be. We just have to obviously wait in there and see exactly what they're really going to be bringing on the table, because it's really, really, really a sleeky side of Spurs, and they play some of the best football. So what you have to do is, one, defend very well, though I'm really very, very worried for that defense. Lindelof, Lindelof haven't gonna hate to play together, you know. So I don't know how the communication is obviously gonna be coming in through, but I know we'll obviously have a very huge go into that encounter. I know we stand a chance, and I know we are favorites, obviously beat this side, because it really opens up its side a lot. That is it. It opens its sides, it opens up itself a lot. And Man United, when they're playing teams of such calibers, you know what happens. United really cruises past them easily. And we shouldn't obviously go ahead and obviously concede an early goal like we did when we are really playing against the side of Man City. And the manager has been asked on his team selection. Matthias de Ligt is ill, so we let him rest. Maguire did a good job, but he didn't play 90 minutes for a long time, so you have to be careful. Ahmad, it's difficult to do without a player like him, but you have to protect the player in certain games. And I chose this game. I trust the other players. We need freshness against the team that has a lot of speed. That's what Ruben Amorim is really telling us, that we need to be having freshness with teams that really have speedy players. So, on Mazzara, we said yes, he had the knock. We saw on the footage, you can play, it's nothing serious. He recovered and is important for us. So that is Ruben Amorim for you. So he's really explaining to us why Mazzara came in through. He's one of those players that I thought will obviously find it hard to obviously get into the team, but the manager is like, he's fit to play. Now, on Marcus Rashford, he has said, please, the internet is not loading, but the players are onto the pitch, and anytime from now, the game of football is going to be starting at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, right? It's really going to be starting anytime from now. And we are here to wait and see how things are really going to be happening for the club of Manchester United, and there is no VAR tonight. So, no VAR tonight. You know, if your goal is cancelled, it's cancelled. Ruben Amorim on Garnacho, he has been good. He's ready to play. I really like the way he has trained. He's an extra option in the attack. He's very fast and good on one-on-one. We need a kind of player with such an ability to help us. That's what Ruben Amorim has said on Alejandro Garnacho, who is playing off the bench. And I think, unless otherwise, he really does his job. But he's not one of those players that I really trust. I tell you, I don't trust Garnacho. Ruben Amorim asked why Marcus Rashford is not in the squad selection tonight. Selection. I chose the players that looked ready to cope with the demands of playing a strong team. So that's why he has gone ahead, obviously, drop Marcus Rashford. You understand? So that's the words that we've gone ahead, obviously, getting through from this. And all my prayers are, let's win this game of football. Let's not get knocked out, because this story of Marcus Rashford is being kept in the news by Sky Sports and many other English journalists, because they know at a certain point X, without Marcus Rashford, we are obviously going to lose points. And when we lose points, that's when they're obviously going to come out and obviously criticize the manager. That if Rashford was here, wouldn't have gone ahead, obviously lose. But the game of football has kick-started, and Spurs are the ones with the ball, and they're trying to obviously start it up and really play it cool into the mix. That is what you're getting through from Spurs, and United is obviously doing what they do best. They're gonna run Anthony, closing in on Spence, and I would love to see this manager really win this game of football, because I'm fed up of us having managers being bullied by the media and obviously trying to create pressure onto the manager. But it's a throw in. Yefis Besuma into the mix. Man United, are really playing this quarterfinal, and they want to go into the semi-finals to either play Arsenal or Liverpool or Newcastle. Lenny Yoro, some good play. Anthony brought down. The referee says player on. Spurs on a counter-attack. They're really trying to really get us here. And this is Kulusevski. Nudge blocked. Ball blocked very well by Eriksen. I liked what Eriksen has gone ahead to put onto the ball. And this is Lenny Yoro. He finds... This is Anthony running himself into a forest of legs. He's the man responsible for that threatening attack that Spurs had gone ahead, obviously, launch into the Tina's box area of Manchester United, but Eriksen came to our rescue. So, this is what I hate about Anthony. He does lots of very many touches, and the position where they've gone ahead to play him is really very sensitive. That's what he doesn't know. That position is very, very sensitive. That is it. It's very, very sensitive. If he loses those balls a lot, because he's playing in the central midfield, I tell you what, it's very easy to reach at our goal. So that's what he needs to do. Binder. Obviously, losing possession, throw in for Spurs. Dejan Spence finds Gray. Gray finds Dragsin. So, they're really trying to move that ball, and they've already shown us that they can reach at our goal easily. So, possession is really important, and you're playing at Spurs Stadium. You don't want to obviously go one goal down right now. All you need is our team to obviously put in a very beautiful shift in there altogether. Dejan Spence, stopped by Mazarawi. Then Son recovers and regains possession in that midfield. Madison James scored a beauty over the weekend. I think most of you went ahead obviously see it. It's United. How many minutes played? 3. Dragsin going ahead to obviously find Gray. They are trying to play in their own half, and they are trying to obviously haunt us, and you know that they'll do that forever. Dejan Spence skips past Mazarawi, trying to skip past Lenny Yoro, brings him down. Referee says foul. Free kick for the club of Manchester United. Dejan Spence, he was playing for Nottingham, loaned from Middlesbrough, and he led Nottingham to what we call the Premier League. And I was so saddened that this Nottingham team never kept the player. And Spurs had to pay £25 million to obviously sign the player, but he really struggled in his seasons with Antonio Conte. He went to Italy. I think first went to France in Nice. Then he went to Italy, played very well. And then he really convinced Ange this season that he can do the needful. Binder goes long. United haven't obviously gone ahead, obviously play a very good interplay into their game of football. They are trying to attack. Anthony, very slow, loses possession. That position where Anthony has been played, I don't think that he can obviously play there because it requires quick thinking, controls the ball and is thinking what to do. Play of Spurs comes in through and obviously puts his boot into it.